Hello students, welcome back to chemistry class. Some basic concepts of chemistry part 4. So in this session, we are going to discuss about dimensional analysis and laws of chemical combinations. We have 5 laws for the chemical combinations. Okay. So first topic is the dimensional analysis. It is also called as unit factor method. So when we are doing the calculations, while calculating, so we need to change the units from one system to other. So that method of converting units from one system to another system is called as dimensional analysis or the unit factor method. So for example, you consider, so we have to convert minutes to seconds. Minutes to seconds. Okay. So and we know that 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So this is the conversion factor, that is 1 minute to 60 seconds. So if we have taken this 60 seconds to this side, then we get 1 minute, so divided by 60 seconds. Or if you have taken this 1 minute to this side, then we get 60 seconds divided by 1 minute. Okay. So the ratio of these two, so when we have taken this 1 minute to this right side, then we get the ratio, that is 1 minute divided by 60 seconds, and its value is equal to 1. And also when this 1 minute is taken to this side, 60 seconds divided by 1 minute, so that value is also equal to 1. So that is, these two factors are called as unit factors. So these are called as what? Unit factors. So we know that unit means 1. So therefore the ratio of these two is equal to 1. Therefore this factor or this ratio is called as what? Unit factors. Okay. So therefore it is called as unit factor method. So if any number is multiplied by unit, it is multiplied by 1, then there is no change. It will not affect the value. So for example, if you have taken the number 4, if it is multiplied by 1, that value is 4. It will not change its value. So therefore the given value is multiplied by 1. So multiplied by 1 means that is nothing but what? Unit factor. Then what is that unit factor? So unit factor is the ratio of magnitude of same physical quantity in two different units. So in this example, we have taken time, that is the physical property or the physical quantity. So we have taken the magnitude of time 1 and 60, but in two different units. So one is in minute, another one is in seconds. So that ratio is called as what? Unit factor. So therefore, so in this dimensional analysis, the given number or the given value is multiplied by this unit factor, then we get the desired value. So while we are taking or we are selecting the unit factor, either you have to take this one or you have to take this one. Okay. So if we have to convert minute to second means, so which unit factor we have to select? So ಈಗ ನಾನು minute ಇಂದ second convert ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವೆರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದನ್ನ select ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು? So then the unit factor we have to select in such a way that the desired unit in the numerator and the unit to be converted is in the denominator. Okay. So if we have to convert minute to second, therefore the second must be in the numerator. The second must be in the numerator, that is the desired unit. So the desired unit is in second, therefore second must be in the numerator and the unit to be converted in the denominator. So therefore you have to select this unit factor. Okay. Now consider an example. So if you are asked to convert the 2 minutes in seconds, you have to write 2 minutes in seconds. So 2 minutes na seconds ge convert ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, so what we have to do? So we have to take the given value, that is 2 minutes, and it is multiplied by the unit factor. Okay. So among these two, which one we have to select? So we have to convert from minute to second. Okay, so therefore second must be in the numerator and minutes must be in the denominator. So therefore you have to multiply this 2 minutes so by this unit factor, so that is 60 seconds divided by 1 minute. Okay, so in this one minute get cancelled, then we get 2 into 60, that is 2 into 60 is 120 and the desired unit is second. So therefore we can write the 2 minute is equal to 120 seconds. Clear? So similarly if we have to convert second to minute, so if you have to convert second to minute, for example, so 180 seconds. So they given the time in 180 seconds, you have to convert it into the minute. So ಇದನ್ನ minute ಗೆ convert ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Then what we have to do? So given value. So given value na ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ it is multiplied by unit factor. So unit factor ಯಾವ್ದು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು? The desired unit is minute. Okay. So therefore you have to write 1 minute in the numerator. So divided by the unit to be converted is second. So 1 minute that is equal to 60 seconds. Therefore you have to take 1 minute to divide by 60 second unit factor. So therefore 180 second is multiplied by 1 minute divided by 60 seconds. Then second get cancelled. So then we get, so 6 3s are 18. So therefore that is equal to 3 minutes. Therefore the answer is 3 minutes. That is 180 seconds is equal to 3 minutes. So this method of converting the units from one system to other is called as dimensional analysis, and it is also called as what? Unit factor method. Okay. Now consider another example. So for this one we require the conversion factors in different units. Okay. Now consider another physical property, that is length. Okay. So if you have to convert, so 3 inch in centimeter. So 3 inch ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ 3 ಇಂಚನ್ನ ನೀವು ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆರ್ ಇಂಚನ್ನು ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್, ಸೊ ಇಂಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಚನ್ನ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕೀಗ? ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರಿಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಇಂಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್? ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್, so you always remember, so 1 inch is equal to, so 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeter. So by this conversion, so we can write the unit factor. The desired unit is centimeter and unit to be converted is inch. Therefore the unit factor is equal to, so centimeter in the numerator, 2.54 centimeter in the numerator. So and the unit to be converted is inch. So therefore you have to write 1 inch in the denominator. So this is the unit factor we require to convert inch into the centimeter. So now write the given value, that is 3 inch. So it is multiplied by unit factor, that is 1. So what is the value of unit factor? 2.54 centimeter divided by 1 inch. So inch get cancelled. So then 2.54 into 3. So multiply these two, 2.54 into 3 centimeter. So on multiplication we get, so 3 4s are 12, 16, so 7.63 centimeter. So 7.62 centimeter. So therefore, so 3 inch is equal to 7.62 centimeter. Okay. So this is what called, that is dimensional analysis or the unit factor method. Okay. So similarly we can convert, so from one unit to another unit for any physical quantities. Okay. The next topic is the law of chemical combinations. The next is laws of chemical combinations. Okay. So when the elements are combined to form the molecule, so that is governed by certain laws. We have 5 laws which governs the combination of atoms to form the molecules. Okay. So in that, the first one is law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. So law of conservation of energy ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಸ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಲಾ ವಾಸ್ put forward by the scientist Antoni Lavoisier. Antoni Lavoisier, by the scientist Antoni Lavoisier. Okay. So he studied the many chemical reactions and finally put forward the law, that is law of conservation of mass. So according to this law, so it states that matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. So matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. So that means the total mass of the reactant is equal to total mass of the products in the chemical reaction. So for example, in general you have to consider a chemical reaction in which A reacts with B, it gives the product AB. So if we have taken the 2 grams of A and 3 grams of B in this reaction, then the mass of the product AB formed must be equal to 5 gram. That means 2 plus 3 must be equal to 5 grams. That means the total mass of the reactant, that is 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. So and the mass of the product is also 5. So therefore according to law of conservation of mass, matter can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reactions. That means the reactants are converted into the product, but they are not destroyed. And these products are not created, so they are formed from the reactants. Reactants are converted into the products, so thus the total mass of the reactant is always equal to the total mass of the product. Okay. Now take another example. If you have taken hydrogen, so that reacts with oxygen, it forms water. It forms water. So if you have taken this one, so if you calculate the masses of hydrogen, oxygen and water, okay. So in this one, if you have taken 2 hydrogen atoms, consider its atomic masses. So 1 atom means 1 gram, 2 atoms of hydrogen means 2 grams, because the atomic mass of hydrogen is taken as 1. So therefore 2 grams of hydrogen that combines with, so we know that atomic mass of oxygen is 16, therefore 2 oxygen atom means that is 32 grams. So 2 grams of hydrogen combines with 32 grams of oxygen. The mass of the product formed. So now consider this water. So in water we have 2 hydrogen atom, therefore 2 plus oxygen is 1, therefore 16. 16 plus 2, that is 18 gram. So it is not balanced. That is, so 2 plus 32, that is equal to 34 grams. But the mass of the product formed is how much? That is 18 gram. The mass of the product formed is equal to 18 gram. That means it is not balanced. That means the equation is not balanced. Thus, according to law of conservation of mass, the chemical equations must be balanced. The chemical equations must be balanced. So thus we have to balance the chemical reactions. So now balance this equation. We have 2 hydrogen atom in the reactant side. So and in the product side also we have 2 hydrogen atom. So balance ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ reactant and product side ಅಲ್ಲಿ so number of atoms of each element must be same. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂದ number of atoms ಏನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು ಸೇಮ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. So oxygen 2 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? ಸೊ 1 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್, ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಪುಟ್ 2 here. That means 2 molecules of water is formed. So 2H2O ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ 2H2O, the hydrogen atoms are not balanced. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಇದೆ. Therefore you have to write 2H2. Therefore the balanced equation is 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. So then this chemical reaction follows the law of conservation of mass. So now calculate the masses of the reactants and the products. Okay, so here, so we have 4 hydrogen atom. So 2 into 2, 4, therefore 4 grams of hydrogen that reacts with, so oxygen 16 into 2, that is 32 grams of oxygen. So then, so 1 water molecule 18 gram, so 18 into 2, so 18 into 2. So now calculate, so 32 plus 4, we get 36 grams. That is 36 grams of reactants, and 18 twos are, that is also 36 grams. So now it is balanced. So thus, according to law of conservation of mass, matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. So hydrogen gas alliruvanಥ hydrogen atoms ನಾವು destroy ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. So it is converted into what? Water by combining with oxygen. So similarly, oxygen is not destroyed, it is combined with hydrogen and it forms what? Water. So thus, the total mass of the reactant must be equal to the total mass of the product. Clear? So this is what? The law of conservation of mass. So this law was given by Anthony Lavoisier. It is given by the scientist Anthony Lavoisier. Clear? So then we move on to the second law. Law of definite proportion. Second law, law of constant proportion, or it is also called as definite. Law of definite proportion or law of constant proportion. So this law was put forward by the scientist Joseph Proust. By the scientist Joseph Proust. So he also studied the various chemical reactions and the number of chemical compounds. So finally he stated that, he given the statement. So that is the law of definite proportion. So this law states that a given compound always contains exactly same proportion of elements by weight. Okay, so consider an example. So first take an example. So if we have taken the water, okay, so if you have taken the water, we have 2 elements, one is hydrogen, another one is oxygen. So these 2 elements are in the ratio of 2:1 by atom. The atomic ratio is 2:1, but according to definite proportion, so that ratio must be in weight, that is by in the mass. So 2 hydrogen atoms means that is 2 grams. So then oxygen, 1 atom of oxygen means that is 16 gram. So if you have taken the ratio of these 2, so simplest whole number ratio anta heltivi. So smallest number is 2. So 2 ಇಂದ divide ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ we get 1:8. So therefore in water, hydrogen and oxygen are always present in the ratio of 1:8 by weight. That means irrespective of its source. That is, water ಯಾವುದೇ ಸೋರ್ಸಿಂದ ಒಬ್ಟೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರಲಿ. ಸೊ ಕಂಬಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕಾರ್ಬನ್, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕಾರ್ಬನ್ನ ಬರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ವಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ವಾಟರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ 1:8 ಬೈ ವೇಟ್. ಸೊ ಬೈ ವೇಟಲ್ಲಿ 1:8 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಬೈ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಮೆಥಡ್, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ದ ವಾಟರ್. ಸೊ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವಾಟರ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ hydrogen and oxygen proportion is again 1:8. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎ ಗಿವನ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ, ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ವಾಟರ್, ಎ ಗಿವನ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ exactly same proportion of elements by weight. So that is what the law of definite proportion. Clear? You can take any other compounds, so not only the water. Okay, so if you have taken copper carbonate CuCO3, so copper carbonate which is obtained from the earth crust, that is natural. So natural copper carbonate, or if you have taken the copper carbonate which is obtained in the laboratory, so synthesized, okay, artificially synthesized copper carbonate if you have taken, so in both the cases, in the copper carbonate, so which is obtained from the earth crust or which is produced in the laboratory, so both contains the same proportion of copper, carbon and oxygen. So all the three elements are present in the definite ratio. So not only this copper carbonate, or you can take calcium carbonate, or you can take HCl, any compound, that given compound irrespective of its source, it always contains exactly same proportion of elements by weight. So that is what? That is the law of definite proportion or the law of constant proportion. Clear? Okay. Then we move on to the third law. The third law is law of multiple proportions. So this law was given by the scientist Dalton. This theory was given by the scientist Dalton. Okay. So according to this law, so before going to the statement of this law, so first I will explain by taking an example. So first one example togona. Now consider we have the two elements. So one is hydrogen, so and another one is oxygen. So two elements there. So these two elements are combined to form the two compounds. So generally ನಮಗೆ hydrogen oxygen ಜೊತೆ combine ಆದ ತಕ್ಷಣ water formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. That is one compound. Okay. And also hydrogen combines with oxygen, it also forms another compound, that is hydrogen peroxide. So two compounds, two elements are combined to form two different elements, more than one compound anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So it forms two compounds, one is water, another one is hydrogen peroxide. In these two compounds we have only the two elements, one is hydrogen, oxygen. Here also we have hydrogen and oxygen, but these two compounds are different. Okay. So now consider the mass of one element. Okay, either hydrogen or oxygen, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. So if we have taken hydrogen and its mass is fixed, so hydrogen ನಾನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಮಾಸನ 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಈ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ದ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಸೊ 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. The mass of oxygen which combined with 1 gram of hydrogen in water as well as in hydrogen peroxide. Okay. Now calculate by using the definite proportion. So we know that if you have taken water, so in water always hydrogen and oxygen are present in the definite ratio according to the second law. So therefore according to this formula, 2 grams of hydrogen, we have 2 hydrogen atom, 1 hydrogen atom, 1 gram. So 2 grams of hydrogen combines with 1 oxygen atom. So 1 oxygen atom is equal to 16 grams. So 2 grams of hydrogen combined with 16 grams of oxygen. But we fixed the mass of hydrogen as 1 gram. So therefore 1 gram of hydrogen ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು oxygen combine ಆಗಿದೆ, you have to calculate. So that is just by the simple cross multiplication. So 1 into 16 divided by 2. So we get 8. Okay. So therefore if you have taken 1 gram of hydrogen, the mass of oxygen which combined with 1 gram of hydrogen in water is 8 grams. is 8 grams. So similarly calculate in hydrogen peroxide. Okay. So in hydrogen peroxide the formula is H2O2. So thus 2 grams of hydrogen combines with 32 grams of oxygen, is it? So 2 oxygen atom ide, 32 grams of oxygen atom. So if you have taken 1 gram, so 1 gram anta tagondre, so ಎಷ್ಟು mass ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? Cross multiply. Okay, 1 into 32 divided by 2, that is equal to 16. That is equal to 16. So therefore here the mass of oxygen is 16 grams. Clear? So now observe the mass of oxygen in two compounds which combine with the fixed mass of hydrogen, that is 1 gram. So 1 gram of hydrogen, 1 gram of hydrogen. So 1 gram hydrogen jothe combine agಲಿಕ್ಕೆ oxygen ಎಷ್ಟು combine ಆಗಿದೆ? So if you have taken 8 gram and 16 gram. So if we have taken the ratio of these two masses, that is 8 is to 16. 8 is to 16. So smallest ratio, if you have taken the smallest ratio or the simplest ratio ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Simplest ratio ಅಂದರೆ smallest number ಇಂದ divide ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So smallest number is 8. So 8 ಇಂದ divide ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, so if we are divided by 8, then we get 1 is to 2. So this is the whole number ratio and it is the smallest number. Okay, so that means, so fixed mass of one element if you have taken, the masses of the other element which combines with this fixed mass is in the smallest whole number ratio. So that is nothing but the law of multiple proportion. Clear? So now the statement. So law of multiple proportion states that if two elements combine to form more than one compound, the masses of one element which combine with the fixed mass of the other, is in smallest whole number ratio. Clear? So two elements combine ಆಗಿ more than one compound formation ಆದಾಗ, so ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟಿನ ಮಾಸಸ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆ ಮಾಸಸ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಸ್ಮಾಲೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಲಾ ಆಫ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಟೇಕ್ ಅನದರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. So to understand this law, you have to take another example. So again consider the two elements carbon and oxygen. Two elements. So these two elements combine to form two compounds. One is carbon monoxide and second one is carbon dioxide. Two elements combine to form two different compounds. Okay, more than one compound. Now fix the mass of one element, that is carbon, or you can fix oxygen. ಯಾವುದಾದರೂ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. So mass of carbon is fixed as 1 gram. So mass of carbon is fixed as 1 gram. Now calculate the mass of oxygen which combines with 1 gram of carbon in carbon monoxide as well as in carbon dioxide. Okay, so now take carbon monoxide. So the mass of atomic mass of carbon is 12. So 12 grams combines with the 16 grams of oxygen. Okay, if you have taken 1, so 1 gram of carbon combines with, so 1 into 16 divided by 12. Okay, so now divide, so by the number 4, so we get 4 by 3. So we get 4 by 3. So now take carbon dioxide. So in carbon dioxide 12 grams of carbon combines with 32 grams of oxygen. Okay, so now calculate for 1 gram. So 1 gram of carbon combines with, cross multiply. So again we get 1 into 32 divided by 12. Okay, so divide by 4, 8. So 8 by 3. Therefore the value obtained is 8 divided by 3. Okay, therefore the mass of oxygen is 4 by 3. Here the mass of oxygen is 8 by 3. Now take the ratio of these two masses. So one is 4 by 3 and 8 divided by 3. So ratio calculate ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 3 ಕಾಮನ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೊ 3 ಕಾಮನ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ಬೈ, ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ 3/2. ಸೊ ಸ್ಮಾಲೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸೊ 2 ಇಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಸೊ 4 ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ 4. ಸೊ 4 ಇಂದ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ 3 ಇಂದ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಗೆಟ್, ಸೊ 3 ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ 4 ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿ ಗೆಟ್ 1, ಸೊ ಈಸ್ 2. So 3 cancel agate, 4 2, so that is 1:2. So again we get what? The smallest whole number ratio. So that is what? The law of multiple proportion. Clear? Okay. So then we move on to the next law. The next fourth one, Gay-Lussac's law of combining volumes. Gay-Lussac's law of combining volume. Okay. So this law was proposed by Gay-Lussac. Okay. So this law is mainly for the gaseous reactants and the product. Okay. So now consider, so whenever the gases are combined, so now considered we have the two different gases. If these two different gases are combined and they produce another gas, it produces another gas. Okay. When we take the ratio of these gases which are combining to produce another gas, that is always in the simplest ratio by volume. Okay. So this law is also similar to that of the law of definite proportion. So law of definite proportionally ratio na by mass alli tagoltivi, Gay-Lussac's law dalli ratio na by volume tagoltivi. So because we are considering the gaseous substances. Clear? So now take an example. We have taken hydrogen. It is in gaseous state. So gaseous state, it reacts with chlorine or it combines with chlorine. It forms hydrogen chloride or HCl gas. Okay. So all are in gaseous state. So the gases are combined. Okay. And produce. So ಇದರ gases combine ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ they combine, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ combine ಆಗತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ they combine in a definite ratio by volume. Okay. So therefore here the stoichiometric coefficient is 1, here also the stoichiometric coefficient is 1. Okay. So therefore, so one volume of hydrogen combines with 1 volume of chlorine, it forms the 2 volume of HCl. Okay. Therefore the ratio is 1:1:2. That ratio is by volume. Okay. So now ಇಲ್ಲಿ hydrogen 2 grams, if you have taken in mass 2 grams ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, chlorine ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ 35.5 into 2 71 grams ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸೊ 2 grams combines with 71 grams of chlorine ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, 2:71 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, and it becomes, so 2 ಇದೆ, hydrogen 1 plus 35.1, so 36.5 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay. So but we have to take in volume. So volume ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ that volume is same as that of its stoichiometric coefficient. So therefore if you have taken the ratio by volume, it is 1:1:2. Okay. So therefore this law states that whenever the gases are combined or produced, they do so in such a way, they do so in simple ratio by volume. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್? ಸೊ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಅಟ್ ದ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೈ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್. ದಟ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ದ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ provided. What is the condition? Provided they are all gases are at the same temperature and pressure. So temperature and pressure must be same. So because the volume of the gases depends upon the temperature and volume. Temperature and the pressure. So if we change the temperature and pressure for any one of the gas, its volume also changes. Therefore, the volume of the gases depends upon temperature and pressure. The condition is at a constant temperature and pressure. Okay. So, once again the statement of Gay-Lussac's law of combining volume. So, it states that, so whenever the gases are combined or produced, they do so in simple ratio by volume, provided all gases are at same temperature and pressure. Clear? So, now take another example. So, hydrogen combines with oxygen. So, hydrogen is a gas, oxygen is also a gas if it forms an water vapors. It forms an water vapors. So, in this one, so hydrogen, so stoichiometric coefficient 2, for oxygen it is 1, for water it is 2. Therefore, the ratio of these three gases is 2:1:2, so that is by volume. So, that ratio must be in volume but not by the weight. So, that is Gay-Lussac's law of combining volume. Clear? Okay, then the next and the last law next fifth one, Avogadro's law. So, Avogadro's law states that, so if you have taken equal volume of the different gases, can let us consider, so we have taken one container, or you can consider one vessel. So, that vessel contains, so 1 liter of hydrogen. Okay. Now, consider another vessel, so which contains 1 liter of oxygen. Now, consider another, so which contains 1 liter of ammonia. So, all are gases. So, provided all are at same temperature and pressure. So, different gases, so same volume, same temperature and pressure. So, then according to Avogadro's law, so all these gases contain the same number of molecules. Same number of molecules. The number of molecules present in this first vessel is same as the number of molecules in oxygen and the number of molecules which are present in 1 liter of ammonia. So, thus Avogadro's law states that at a given temperature and pressure, equal volume of all gases contain same number of molecules. Clear? So, at a given temperature and pressure, equal volume 1 liter, 1 liter, 1 liter. So, all gases are same. So, equal volume of gases contain same number of molecules. So, this is Avogadro's law. Okay. So, today in this session we discussed about the dimensional analysis and the laws of chemical combinations. Okay. So, in the next class we will discuss about the atomic mass and the molecular mass. Thank you all.